Need cheap coins right now? Check out redzonecoins.com. For the very best discount available, use code DIRECTOR for 20% off.
Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the Director. Chargers fans, feels like forever since we've had Chargers football. Week 5 being the last time. It hasn't really been that long, but my God, am I ready for some Chargers football this upcoming Sunday. And the Bolts are coming back reloaded and recharged with a lot of players returning from injury. But not only that, the Chargers are returning to a schedule that'll prove to act as a runway to a significant possible win streak for several weeks. And this is all starting with, you guys know, the Jacksonville Jaguars this upcoming Sunday. Ooh, dudes, I don't want to get cocky, but man, this is a great matchup for the Chargers coming back off the bye. The Bolts will be returning home to SoFi Stadium to face up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team who has allowed some big points in the last 5 weeks. This is it, Bolt fam. This is where the Chargers finally get back on track, but this does not mean the Chargers should take this matchup lightly. In this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about this matchup and how the Chargers could attack these hobbled Jaguars. Now, before we get started, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video. Lights, camera,
action.
The Chargers versus the Jaguars. Let's start this video, as we do all other videos, with the injury report. Now let's start with some names that actually are not listed on this injury report for the Chargers, that being Melvin Ingram and Justin Jones. They are likely to return this Sunday. Now, in an article by CBS, I did read this earlier, there is mention that Ingram is a game time decision, but to me, this is just coach speak. I'm gonna guess that he'll be fine to suit up against the Jags. Now, outside of that, there's some notable names for the Chargers. Brian Bulaga perhaps being the biggest. Bulaga's been battling a back injury for several weeks and finally began to see some reps in practice again on Wednesday. Now, although limited, I do expect to see Bulaga return in this game, but temper your expectations as they'll likely ease him back into the lineup, so perhaps see a few less reps than normal. But still, that's a huge plus to this Chargers offensive line that's really been struggling these past several weeks. Next is Justin Jackson. Now, Jackson did practice in full on Friday, so I fully do expect him to suit up on Sunday, and it could be a pretty big game for him, but we'll get to that in just a minute. And lastly, in the out column, unfortunately, we do see Trey Turner once again. He's been officially declared out on Sunday. I don't know how severe this groin injury must be, but I'm hoping we do see Bulaga and Turner play together next week. I think it's about time, man. Both these guys have had a lot of time to, treat these injuries. I'm really hoping they're back to 100% next week, because God knows we really need the help at offensive line. We've got the players. They've just been out with injury so consistently. Now let's move on to the Jaguars. Now, there's a lot of names on this list, but for the most part, many of them seem to be well enough to play. But still, guys like Miles Jack and Tyler Eifert missing the game could be pretty significant, especially a guy like Miles Jack, very good coverage linebacker, could also act as a spy against Justin Herbert. Without him there, that does open up the middle of the field quite a bit and does allow Herbert some space to move outside the pocket, probably pick up some yards with his feet. But the only other players that I'm unsure of in this matchup, if they'll suit up or not, are Laviska Shenault and DJ Chark. Now, the Jags passing attack is no joke, but if they're missing one or both of these guys, especially DJ Chark, it could limit their productivity through the air. Because I'm one of those guys that has DJ Chark in fantasy, and I'll tell you what, that guy's really good at football, but if he can't stay on the field, the Jags offensive unit, as far as their passing attack, does suffer a little bit as a whole. But other than that, the Jags, they do have a lot of names on this list. A lot of them I do expect to suit up on Sunday. So the Chargers facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And honestly, I don't want to underestimate this team, but at the same time, this is a great opponent for the Chargers to play coming off of their bye week, because the Jags kind of seem to be in a tailspin right now, losing their last 5 games straight, most of those losses looking pretty bad. But what's especially hurting them right now is their defense, a defense that we once thought could carry this team to the dang Super Bowl. They are giving up a crap ton of points on a weekly basis. In their last 5 games, this is what they've allowed their opponents to score. Are you guys ready? 33, 31, 33, 30, and 34 points. Big yikes. Now, I don't want to come off as cocky, but man, does this look like a great matchup for a strong Rookie of the Year candidate in Justin Herbert. The Jags have forfeited over 270 yards through the air on average this season. This is very close to what Justin Herbert has been averaging per game as well, and the Jags currently rank 25th against the pass. And on the ground, it looks equally bleak for Jacksonville, allowing over 140 yards on the ground per contest this year. This is a combined total of over 410 total yards per game allowed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is Herbert's season. All this being said, the Chargers are about to feast this week. I think Justin Herbert continues to stack his resume in consideration for Offensive Rookie of the Year, going for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. And I do think it's possible that he adds a score and some respectable yards on the ground as well. I think Keenan Allen goes for around 80 and a score. Justin Jackson goes for over 100 and a score. I do think Hunter Henry gets some action too, with over 50 yards and a score as well. It's going to be a pretty big day for the Chargers offense. But the big breakout this game for the Chargers, in my opinion, has got to be Justin Jackson. We already know his potential. We've already seen him in several games put up some great numbers and prove to be efficient in Eckler's absence. But the Jags defense on top of that is just so bad against the run. And we all know that Anthony Lynn knows this too. See, last year versus the Jags, Eckler absolutely went off, going for over 200 total yards and a score. Now, I don't think that Jackson is going to be as dominant as Eckler in this contest, but I do see him leading this offense with force. Now, let's quickly touch on this Jacksonville offense as well. The Jags have actually not looked terrible on offense this year, but they haven't looked particularly great either. Let's break it down. Minshew has looked pretty good, putting up over 1,682 yards in his first 6 games. He's among the top quarterbacks in yardage. Running back James Robinson has kind of been a surprise to us all. He's looked pretty good as well, putting up almost 600 total yards and 4 touchdowns. And lastly, the Jags receiving unit has looked pretty upgraded as well. DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Chris Conley, they've all looked pretty decent so far. The trouble is, as good as this offense is, they just cannot count on their defense. I remind you, the Jags defense has surrendered a combined 161 points over the past 5 weeks. Now, that is exceptionally bad. And additionally, I don't think the Jags are ready for what the Chargers are cooking on defense this week either. Arrested Joey Bosa, a returning Melvin Ingram, a solid DB unit led by Hayward and King. The Chargers defense, a unit that was looking to be top 5 at the start of the season, is starting to come back to form as players continue to return from injury. And even with all the injuries, the Chargers ranked somewhere around 11, I think. So as we continue to see more players come back, that ranking should climb. So I think it's been pretty well established that I see the Chargers being a favorite in this contest, but we still need to take this Jags offense seriously. Still, I think the Chargers are going to put up a lot of points. You guys ready for the official prediction? The Jacksonville Jaguars 17, Los Angeles Chargers 34. Herbert's about to get cooking. I think in this game, the Jags are likely to get behind quick. Justin Herbert's going to get cooking early. And after that, I see the Jags struggling to contain Justin Jackson and Joshua Kelly. Well, that's all I got for this video, guys. In the comment section below, let me know your guys' prediction for this game. I see it as a pretty important game, man. I see this as the beginning of something truly special for the Chargers going forward. If we can pull out a win here, the schedule isn't looking too terribly scary for the next couple of weeks. And what am I always talking about in these videos, guys? Momentum. If Justin Herbert can start picking up some momentum, if we can continue to get players back from injury, I think the Chargers have a legitimate shot at the playoffs. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this content, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. This has been The Director, and as always, bolt up and stay frosty.